Yeah, this video is going to be slightly different today. I don't normally do these sort of videos for like, individual releases, but this film kind of warrants it. It's a western, which kind of goes in kind of like the subgenre of the Mountain Men films, which is there's a few. I'll speak about them. But the film in question is the FNAC exclusive, Digibook of Jeremiah Johnson. This was released in the US 5 or 6 weeks back. I wanted this version. This edition is the same as the American release. Comes with like the back as well. I took that off. It's comes with English subs, English audio. If you want to watch like a fantastic film, please watch this. This is an absolutely awesome release. Kind of the subgenre, kind of like Mountain Men kind of films. I mean, this is definitely one of the best. Set during, you never really know when it's set. I kind of, Robert Redford's obviously a soldier. I'd say it's probably late 1840s. I'd say probably around about the US-Mexican war time. And he basically wants to become a mountain man. Mountain men were like the early kind of pioneers, kind of beginning like very, very early 1800s. Going into the Rocky Mountains in Colorado, other places as well, like Sierra Nevadas and like, along the Oregon Trail a bit later on. But they never really kind of numbered more than a few hundred. But yeah, they were tough men, no doubt about it. It was normally, I mean, they didn't go up as individuals like Jeremiah Johnson and does in this, befriending people. They normally went up like in small parties of like 10 or 12, because you couldn't really survive when you're thinking about that, like, the hostile tribes. I mean, the tribes of the region of Paiute, Ute, Nez Perce, Blackfoot, Crow, Flathead, Shoshone. There were a lot of tribes up there. I mean, not hostile in the extent. I mean, the Crow were the main kind of hostile tribe in this, but they were only defending their land, for God's sake. Hostile to outsiders, sure. But they mainly kind of the occupation for trappers, fur trappers, normally in the beaver trade, amongst other things. He befriends the elderly trapper, kind of teaches him kind of hunting. But yeah, like by the time Jeremiah Johnson kind of gets into it, then the beaver kind of trade had really hit a kind of all-time low. It had all kind of been exterminated in areas like in certain. It began to go back on late in the 19th century, but like the fur kind of trade really took a hit in the middle, like I think around the 1840s period. But there's some really interesting characters at the Mountain Men. You got Jim Bridger, James Beckwourth, he was a former slave. Found like was it the Beckwourth Trail to the Sierra Nevadas. And then, well, I mean, if you watch like How the West Was Won, I think you'd believe that the Mountain Men all got on with the Indians, and there was nothing like that at all. I mean, if you compare to like murderers like Seth Kinman, who said he bagged around 800 bears in his career, and personally target most Indians. It was like there's there's other kind of interesting stories as well. Hugh Glass as well. He was a mountain man. He got attacked by a bear trying to defend its cubs. They managed to kill the bear, but he was left dying. They believed him dead. Jim Bridger was there at the time, and came out of his coma while his men had left him out in the wilderness. The nearest fort was Fort Kiowa, 200 miles away. Got near a tree trunk. Maggots ate around his wound, and after months and months he managed to get through hostile tribes and various animal attacks, managed to get to Fort Kiowa, which is just amazing. He got killed later by Indians. There's Dell he meets. I think Dell gets captured by, I think it's Crow or Blackfeet. I think it could be Blackfeet. Talking about whipping his weight in wolverines, He's very good in this. Trying to find the actor. The actor's name's here. I'm trying to think on the back. Is it Stefan Gierach? I probably pronounced that name wrong, but he's really good in this. But there's some if you're interested in the Mountain Man subgenre, there's not many films. He does a great job. I mean, Robert Redford's based on Liver Eating Johnson. Took a native wife. I think in the Colorado mountains, and I think she was killed along with his son, I think by crow, and he began to hunt and kill a lot of crow males, and apparently ate their livers. Apparently, it's it's a really nice release. If you're interested, as I said, in the Mountain Men films, I mean, there's a few. How the West Was Won, like the beginning story with Jimmy Stewart, that's a very good, great film as well in places. Man in the Wilderness, Richard Harris, that's also a really good film. A lot based heavily on the Hugh Glass kind of, that scene where you see him eating the buffalo scaring the wolves away. Hugh Glass apparently really did that. Really well directed by Sidney Pollack as well. He's done a great job on this film. What other films we got? Mountain Men, and Brian Keith and Charlton Heston. That's really good. That's a beautiful shot. I love that shot. Basically befriends the old guy, because he meets the old guy and kind of to catch his first bear, because he's wondering where he gets. He picks up, I think, a small hawk and rifle, and then he finds a larger hawk and rifle on this guy. He's frozen in the snow, and he says, "Whoever finds me, you can have my rifle." And the guy's wondering how he got it. He probably thought he killed the other mountain man, but Jeremiah explains it to him. What are the further films we got? Into the West, like the TV series, there's kind of early kind of bits. There's a good kind of documentary as well called The Donner Party. The Donner Party were like were around 80 or 90 kind of a pioneer family all along the Oregon. No, they weren't going on the Oregon Trail. I think they were trying to get over the Sierras to California. Basically got trapped in kind of a snowstorm, and the whole story led to kind of cannibalism. It's a very good documentary on the Donner Party. I'd really recommend that. Ravenous as well, I suppose, kind of touches on the sort of Manifest Destiny thing, but this is a little bit kind of different. Probably the best TV series you can probably get is Centennial. Really recommend that. The early parts of Pasquinel, that's fantastic. But there's not really much. I mean, with the film, the transfer I think's good. It's not like amazing, but sometimes some of the 70s films don't really. They're not going to look like some like the kind of the technical kind of films, or like the the 60s and that. Not going to look as amazing as that, but it's a really awesome film. It's fantastic. All those. That's a great scene. It's one of my favourite scenes in it, where he hasn't seen Dale in years and he's grown his hair, and it just meet. And I think, somewhere probably more into probably might be more into Utah, but I think probably at least on the extremities of Colorado, they just meet, and they just talk. It's amazingly shot. But it's a great film, and I've kind of gone on a bit longer now. I mean, it's not. I don't normally do videos like this. They're very rare, but this film's worthy of that. So please check the film out. It's fantastic. I'd really recommend it. Really great release. And thanks for watching. I'll be back with another kind of update soon. But if you got any questions about the edition, kind of just ask. But thanks for watching.